That is right. Welcome in, everyone. You are on the inaugural episode of Corn This Way. What's this show about? Well, simply put, how about whatever the hell I want? No, not exactly. Obviously, it's about Husker athletics, which means this time of year we're focused in on the foosball and the volleyball. We're just going to talk Huskers. We're also going to highlight a lot of the work that we're doing during the week to keep you as the most informed version of a Husker fan as you can be. A little more of a commoner's perspective, and I'm about as common as it gets. So let's get into it. First segment up today is going to be key dates this week. If there was a starter's pistol to say, we are in the preseason, we are ready to rumble, it is football time, well, today is the day, my friends. The starter's pistol has been fired. We're a little over a month or so away from the Huskers season opener, of course, everyone knows, in Ireland against the Purple Kitties of Northwestern, which means we got to get rolling early and often. And here we go. Big Ten Media Days, Tuesday. That's the first date on your key dates for this week. The Huskers are up bright and early on Tuesday morning in Indianapolis. We packed up some of our finest staff last week, FedEx them up to Indianapolis. Going to have full coverage up there. Of course, we're talking Sam McKewon and then the Honorable Tom Shatel, Evan Bland, and new to the crew, Amy Just. You're going to get to know her. Hell of a writer. Trust me, you're going to want to follow her along. Okay, so like I said, Scott Frost and the Huskers going to be up early on Tuesday morning. Going to have Garrett Nelson, Quentin Newsom, Travis Vokalek up there. We'll have all the recapping of their talking to the media. And the reason they got to be so quick about it is number 2 on your list of things to do this week, Fan Day. That's right. More compressed schedule. I got to have Fan Day a little earlier than normal. Don't worry. Scott Frost and those 3 will be back in time for Fan Day. Of course, that's at 6 o'clock over at Memorial Stadium on Tuesday night. Get over there, get the kids some autographs, have some fun, be nice to each other. Should be a very fun Fan Day, and that'll really get the blood flowing. You're going to feel like it's football season after that. Okay, Wednesday, practice starts for Nebraska. Like I said, everything is earlier. No access to anyone, so don't be creeping around the practice field on Wednesday. And then we will get to talk to them, though, Friday. Next thing on your list. We're going to get to speak with Eric Shenander, of course, the defensive coordinator for the Huskers, and Husker defensive players after practice on Friday morning. Don't worry, we'll have a full recap, video, photos, anything else you want to take a gander at on Friday/Saturday. Have at it. Now, one look ahead, a date next week you will be interested in, Monday. We have a media viewing period. Yes, praises be to the one above. We will get to see the Huskers for 20-30 minutes on Monday morning, take photos, take videos, and more importantly, you'll get to hear all of our writers give their hot takes on what they're seeing from the Huskers early in practice. So like I said, busy, fun week ahead. We're ready to rumble. Okay, next segment. We call it 3 Key Reads. These are some articles that appeared over the weekend in the lovely Omaha World-Herald and Omaha.com. Take a gander at these. There's some excellent ones. Tom Shatel, the honorable one, as mentioned before. The headline speaks for itself, my friends. Can Scott Frost, the once clutch quarterback, become the clutch coach? Yeah, you know what that one's about. Scott Frost was a hell of a clutch football player. We all know that. And this season, we're going to find out if he's a clutch coach. And we don't mean to be all dramatic here and get everyone all riled up, but let's be honest, this is a huge season in the history of Husker football, and it's really going to hang on Scott Frost and his staff to get this thing turned around, and if they don't, well, we know what's going to happen. So Shatel really sets the table there nicely. Excellent article. It's going to be linked below, whether you're on Omaha.com or on the YouTubes. I've got all the stuff we're talking about linked down there for you to give it an old clickety-click and give it a read. Number 2, Evan Bland. As I mentioned before, this is a compressed schedule. Nebraska's got to get rolling early because of that game in Ireland. Evan, with a really nice article kind of describing what Nebraska all has to get done in these next 3.5 or so weeks before they get to the Emerald Isle to take on Northwestern. Finally, one of my favorite articles, we do this one several times a year. This one's from Sam, of course, and it's the Big Ten recruiting scoreboard. Sam really gets into the rankings, how all the teams have done. Spoiler alert, you know this as well as I do. The Huskers, not too bad of a June. Really not too bad. So take a gander at that article. Like I said, linked below. You can take a look at that and find out where Nebraska stands and see what everyone else in the Big Ten is doing on recruiting. Okay, our final segment of the day is one we like to call What in the H-E double hockey sticks? Okay, it's usually going to be something that somebody says that I don't like, and then we take a look at it. This week's edition is a comment that broke kind of earlier last week. If you didn't see it, it was on the old Basie's Black and Gold Banter podcast, if you want to give that a listen. And of course, that's Pittsburgh, and that features Pat Narduzzi, head coach of the Panthers, who was feeling a little bit loose with the lips and must have been comfortable enough to let out some of the rage. He let the hate flow, and he was talking about his now former offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple, who of course now is the offensive coordinator at Nebraska. All right, throw this comment up here and take a gander. Quote, "Our old offensive coordinator had no desire to run the ball. Everyone knew it. He was stubborn. Wake Forest 118th in run defense, and we threw the ball every down. And when we ran it for 10 yards, and that wasn't good enough," end quote. Jesus, Pat, tell us how you really feel. My God, and he wasn't done. He raged about some other subjects, including Michigan State, ironically, and the Big Ten Conference as a whole, which he was a part of both of those scenarios at one point in his coaching career. Okay, if you want a very eloquent breakdown of what these comments might mean and what might be behind these comments, Sam has an excellent article linked down below. Click on that. Now, for a less eloquent take from me. Okay, here we go. Here's my main concern with this. It's rare in this age of college football, even with all the media interviews, all the podcasts, all the appearances these head coaches make, it's rare for a setting head coach to talk trash on an outgoing former assistant. It just doesn't happen a lot in the public eye, and there's a reason for that. It's a small industry, and those grudges can carry a long way. So I did find this interesting that Pat decided to go recliner of rage on everyone and spill this stuff about Mark Whipple. Now, what's it mean? Maybe nothing. At the least level, I would have some concerns about relationship dynamics, but who knows? As we know in life, it takes two to tango. Pat Narduzzi, he just might be a jackwagon. And Mark Whipple, I don't know, maybe he's the Dark Lord himself. But let us ponder for 1 second the Pittsburgh Panthers season last year and ask yourself, as the average Husker fan, how would you like to have this season? A Heisman candidate at quarterback who's going to eventually be a first-round draft pick. The Bolitnikoff Award winner at wide receiver, 11 wins, and of course, a conference championship game trophy. Would you like that? Sign me up, Satan, indeed. Okay, that's it for HE Double Hockey Sticks, and that's going to be it for this first episode of Corn This Way. We're going to be right back at you tomorrow, most likely, recapping everything that happens at Big Ten Media Days. So stay locked with us. We're going to have everything you would want to know. Until that time, Husker fans, keep it real and just remember, we're all corn this way.